Hello, if anyone can hear me. We are running, vegan fairs are running overlaps today. So we've got cookery demos and we've got talks going at the same time. Very, very, clever, incredible technological stuff. And I'm a technophobe, totally. But yeah, so there is a bit of a delay on everything. But it looks like oh, hey, vegan fairs. Hey, John, they are. Thank you. Can everyone? Oh, yeah. You've just answered my question. You can hear me. That's all right then. So, yes, welcome to the second online vegan event. And much respect to Vegan Fairs for organising this. Yeah, in Vegan Fairs, you've got Joe Harrington, and also you've got Daisy Botter. Huge respect to Daisy because she has worked incredibly hard. Spent many. Oh, it's Joe on Vegan Fairs. So yeah, no, it's incredible. So the talk I'm going to give today is going to be for anyone that saw my talk a month ago, and I can't believe it's been a month ago. This one's going to tangent off. I will do my best to cover several topics, and I will, like I say, I will tangent off. If you've got any questions, please just, tap them into the screen. I'll answer them as I can. And I will link them all up at the end, every little segment of my talk. Let's start with awareness. Now, awareness is going to mean many different things to many of you. Now, awareness for me is when I wake up in the morning, and I open the two most precious gifts that I've got, and that's my eyes. I wake up and I sense myself, I feel myself, not in a pervy way. I'm just happy to have another chance at this life, and it's being aware. And then once I'm waking up, I become aware of the bird song. I become aware that my heart is still beating. And for someone that's in advanced heart failure, that really is a massive bonus. To just be alive is incredible. And it's being aware of everything. And that's one thing that we really need to be. Yes, thank you, Shirley. I knew they are straight away. Look, Shirley Tregoning from There's No Catch Vegan Fish and Chips. She has to come in and lower the tone with Dirty Bugger Lol. Thank you for that, Shirley. And yeah, Shirley is a vegan trader. She's not at the, doing this day because they do hot food and ice cream and that. And for anyone that knows my dog, Pagan, he is actually their chief taster and mascot. So, yeah, thank you so much. Well, hey, and Mr. Badger Hawkins, who runs Badger's Vegan Kitchen. He's joined us as well. Lucy Armstrong, Faye Dunham, thank you all for joining in this. And it is, like I say, awareness. It's being aware not just of who we are and this life, but it's being aware of what we put out into the universe. And from the time we start thinking, we don't always have positive thoughts. That's impossible. But it's about diffusing any sort of negative or oppressive thoughts so that we don't use those as words into the wider world. And yes, Badger is trading today. Yeah. Yeah, just we have to be aware, intrinsically aware. If you imagine that the whole world is basically covered in a huge, great invisible spider's web, and every time we act or get angry or get irate, what we're effectively doing is pulling on those, the invisible strands of life, the spider's web, and we can make or break somebody's day. So I do believe that to be aware is to be thoughtful, it's to be loving and compassionate, and we should put out into the world what we want to receive back. And that's when karma comes in, I do believe that we get back what we put out into the universe, and it's essential. It really, really is. So yeah, and now is a time when we've got no comparisons to make with this at all. No one in the history of the world, and let's face it, we're all under the same storm at the minute. We're just in different boats experiencing different things. No one has got any comparisons to make with what exactly is going on. So it's essential now to be kind. It really is, because people are struggling. People are suffering in their own different ways. Like I said, we're all in our tiny little boats. And if you imagine the whole world covered in water, and we're bobbing around in little boats, we haven't got paddles. We don't know what direction we're going. We know what we'd like to see, and we want to see the shoreline, because then we know we're proverbially safe. But that has gone out of the window. Kirsty Meredith, my t-shirt, if you have a look on my John Arwin Facebook page, you'll see what the back of it's got on as well. It's from Viva La Vegan, and I'm the ambassador for Viva La Vegan. They're very good friends of mine. They sponsor me, so yeah, I get to wear some incredible apparel. But if you have a look, like I say, on John Arwin on my Facebook page, you'll see pictures from earlier today of me with my dog, and it's got the back of it as well. But yeah, go and check out Viva La Vegan. They do some amazing apparel and other merchandise as well. So awareness, it is crucial. It makes us feel better, and it makes everyone else feel better. And we are all intrinsically connected. So it is essential that we tread carefully. And when I say tread carefully, I'm on about with our thoughts, our words and our actions. We do not know how somebody is feeling. And if we suddenly unleash a tirade at them, it could have devastating consequences. It really could. So it's, awareness is about being mindful as well. Right, let's talk about the dreaded COVID-19, shall we? The coronavirus, the pandemic, or the plandemic, whichever way you want to sort of view it. This is essentially why we are all locked down at the moment. Not just a country, not just a few societies, not just a few thousand or a few million people. The whole world is on lockdown because of the way that humans treat animals. I'm not going to cover this too much because Juliet Galatly, the founder of Viva, is going to be doing a talk from, I believe, 3:30 to 4:30, about zoonosis. But this is another part of awareness as well. We have to start being kind to all kinds, and once we start ripping apart forests, and unsettling lands, causing massive deforestation, and we do this because we can, not really because we need to. And once we start believing that we have dominion over all other life, then that is essentially why we are here now, because we've contained animals. We keep them in squalid conditions, around the world. Let's not, hold one country responsible for this. Every country has got their own part to play in this. Every country, does huge intensive animal farming, massive sites of animal agriculture, and it's just vile, it's wrong, and it creates a hotbed for disease to spread. And basically that's why we are in the lockdown we are now, because people are seeing animals as being there for them instead of being there with us, and every single life, from a worm to a great white, shark, whale, a great, anything, across all spectrums, every single life has as much right to be here, and live freely as we do. We are not enjoying this lockdown. We are making the most of it because as humans, we diversify. It is not ideal, but you imagine today alone, every 24 hours in slaughterhouses around the world, 432 million animals every 24 hours, and that's predominantly 4 species, which is cows, sheep, pigs and chickens. Every 24 hours, 432 million are slaughtered for human demand for the food chain. Now, those animals have been kept in squalid, cramped conditions all of their life. Most of them will have been born into those vile industries, and we keep them contained because we can, not because we need to, because we don't. A year, we now kill 74 billion land animals a year. That's 9.5 times more people, more animals are killed each year than what there are humans on the planet. We are seriously, we have seriously gone wrong. And life should not be like this at all. The depravity of man knows no bounds at all. How can we be doing this? Who do we think we are to be slaughtering 9 times the amount of animals as what there are humans on the planet? It has to end. Let's talk about mental health, shall we? Now, mental health might mean not a lot to some people, and it's going to mean a massive amount to many people. Yeah, mental health. Mental health comes in many, many different aspects. We've all got mental health issues. It's to what degree. We might just get a bit jittery sometimes, or we could go really, really insular. We could have OCD, we could have Asperger's, we could have Tourette's, all of these things, and again, it's all about being aware. And, the lockdown is a stressful time for many, many people. A lot of people are very insular. They haven't got family, they haven't got friends, they haven't got points of contact, which I believe gives us all anchors in our lives. Some people are shunned by families, some people are heavily burdened, and it's another reason for us to be aware, because like I said earlier, one wrong word from one person to someone that is in a dire place could have, catastrophic results. And we have to be aware of each footprint we are proverbially putting into this world. It's all about kindness. Kindness really does matter. It's about being aware. It's about showing love. It's about being gentle with your thoughts for yourself. It's also about being gentle with your words to others, because none of us have got the right to impede and breach on another people's, safety, their security, their boundaries. So the whole lot, intrinsically, it's all coming down to awareness, and that's basically what this talk was, and is titled. So yeah, it's plucking the proverbial spider's web threads and just causing the least harm, and that's physically, mentally, spiritually, and alleviating our impact upon this planet. And that's something that we all need to, think more of. And just from the time you wake up in the morning, we have many, many choices. But the one big choice that we have is, which wolf am I going to feed today? Am I going to feed the black wolf? or am I going to feed the white wolf? And that's ultimately what it comes down to. Are we going to put good into this world and strive to be and do the best that we can? Or are we going to go around like a whirling dervish, and try and ruin everyone else? And for me, there's only one choice, because it does all come down to the rules and the universal laws of karma. We do ultimately get back what we put into this world. So yeah, it's about being aware. I'm just trying to have a look. They are Shirley Tregoning, used to be a mental health counsellor, and I can only imagine how suicidal some of my old clients are now. Indeed, Shirley. And I'm not going to name any names on here, but 10 days into this, one of my friends, their partner couldn't handle it, even though he was in a very, very loving relationship with 2 young children. He took his own life because I'm not saying it's because of this that he done it, but this was the final trigger, and it was tragic. And to leave 2 young children behind, and the oldest child is not even 3. So 10 days in, it had a massive, massive, huge impact, and that's one that I personally know. So yeah, Berger, thank you very much. This is a great speech. Right, immune systems. And once again, like I say, everything that I'm going to talk about today links up to the title of the talk, awareness. Right, immune systems. Our immunity. The best thing, and common sense, let's get common sense prevailing here. Our immune systems are built within ourselves. And to build them up, we need and we should be eating healthy food. We should be drinking plenty to keep ourselves hydrated. We should be eating lots of, and I'm sure most of the people, watching and listening to this today, are vegans, or some of them are even going to be whole food, plant-based. And it comes down to, how can you, if you're walking down the aisle of a supermarket, how can you have death in the freezer on one side with all the various cuts of meat, and processed stuff? How can you possibly live a healthy life if you are fueling yourself with death? It's not going to happen. It's an oxymoron. You cannot be healthy when you're fueling yourself with death. Now, we're walking down this double aisle, and on one side, we've got all of the frozen, amputated body parts from various animals. We've got the processed meats and everything like that, which doesn't look nice. I always avoid walking down what I call the death aisle anyway. But let's just imagine, on the other side of that, we've got all of the vibrant fruits, veg, grains, and everything like that. And yourself, all of the fruits and veg, it's a rainbow of colour. The electrolysis in them is so much higher. They are of a different resonation. And it's proverbially eating the rainbow. So imagine that, close your eyes and imagine you're walking down and you've got death on one side and you've got life on the other. It's common sense. To have a healthy life and to start initiating a good immune system, you're going to go for the vibrant food. You have to, every single time. And look at that from a spiritual perspective as well, because let's get down to the nitty-gritty. First and foremost, we are all spiritual beings. We are merely having a human existence. Now that's paramount. We are, because once we die and we are no more, this body vessel, not just mine but everyone's, that's going to pack up and fade. But because what's running us is pure energy, energy once created, it can change forms, but it never ever goes. So to fuel ourselves in this life, we do need to have the healthiest, the brightest and the freshest foods we can. That is paramount. You know, any doctor, you know, any dietitian, any nutritionist, of which I am a qualified vegan nutritionist, will tell you that. And it's like, you know, with your car, would you go along to a garage and fuel your car with manky old petrol or crappy old diesel and expect it to run properly? No, of course you wouldn't. There is no difference, and our bodies are a very, very finely tuned vessel. They really, really are. And it's up to us whether we choose to put the best fuel in that we can, or whether we're going to opt for something that is not going to keep us running. It's not going to give us our mental capacity and our resolution. It's not going to be good for our spiritual selves. It's going to heavily negate and impact upon that. And it's certainly not going to be, you know, good for our physical selves. And if anyone's watched the Game Changers, you know, they will know, you know, because that is a medically endorsed and scientifically proven that a plant-based or a vegan lifestyle, you know, he is now creating the world's fastest runners. It's, you know, it's powering the world's strongest men. You know, take nothing away from this. The days of eating amputated and chopped up, you know, dead animal carcasses is long gone. You know, yes, our ancestors may have helped, you know, may have eaten meat. Does that mean we still have to when we know better, when we're able to do better, when we're able to be better? You know, we're an evolving, higher thinking species. So what are we doing? You know, still meddling and violating all of these animals. We have no right at all. No right whatsoever. Right, I'm going to have a sip of water. Hang on. Cheers, everyone. I'm getting some absolutely beautiful comments on this, and I really, really appreciate it. It's inspirational. And the comments, because basically when I normally go about and I give talks in public, for those of you that have seen my talks, I feed off the audience. Basically, I see we're conduits. So look at Shirley, yeah? It's past the yard arm, Shirley. Yeah, you're right to have a gin. I'll tell you what, take a sip for me and Pagan and say cheers. But yeah, giving a talk, when you're actually engaging with the public and you can see their response, it's inspirational. It really is. So if you can imagine now, I'm giving a talk, but all I am actually seeing is I'm seeing myself on the camera, which so I'm not engaging fully with the audience, although I'm trying to. But oh, look at Lucy Armstrong sitting down on the beach at Brighton. You know, how the other half live, eh? But yeah, no, getting these comments, that's what's inspiring me. It really, really is. So, you know, and I hope that I'm managing to, you know, inspire you, or at least give you something else, an alternative to think of. So, right. So there, the immune systems. So we're feeding them with good, healthy food. And another one which is absolutely essential, especially now as we look out the window and see how bright it is out there, and Lucy sitting on the beach in Brighton on a day like today, you know, our systems need vitamin D. They empower us, they make us think, they give us fortitude, resolution. Oh, I got that wrong. Lucy's in Shoreham. Not with the crowds. Oh, she's social distancing. That's always good. Well done, Lucy. But yeah, just being out in nature, you know, because nature is the greatest healer. It really is. It's therapeutic, it's cathartic for us, and it's inspirational. Just being out in the fresh air empowers us. It makes us healthy. And I know we're having to social distance at the time, but when we shouldn't be staying in clinical environments and sterile environments. You know, for me personally, I've always washed my hands. You know, you were taught that as a child. You know, if you could, you washed your hands. And that's always stayed with me. But to be encased and encroached within a sterile environment where everything you touch is being wiped down, is being bleached, is being sterilised, that's not going to actually do our immune systems much good. It really isn't. Because we need bacteria. We do need some germs. Without these germs, you know, we're not going to build up an immunity. And I am not saying everyone needs to go and contract whatever's around at the minute. Totally the opposite. But it's about being aware of how we can benefit ourselves. And that's, you know, that's the crucial part of all of this. You know, it's awareness of ourselves, our own health, other people's health and well-being. And if we can sort of demonstrate this to others and practice it ourselves, then it's better for everybody. It really is so much better for everybody else. But yeah, I would encourage people, if you can and you're able to get outside, even if you can only go outside and inhale some fresh air. And Shirley's just put, people are pushing towards celebrity, more money, etc., but they need to look at nature and return to looking after that for longevity. It really is. That's so true, Shirley. Good point. You know, because enough is enough now. We cannot carry on the way we are. And I'm hoping that this current situation is going to give people clarity. It's going to make them look at how they can change what is happening. Yeah, Joe Vaughan. Hiya, Joe. Hope you're having a good day. We need a bit of dirt, Joe's put. Some grubbing in the garden, dirt. And that is so true, because I was just going to say, actually, I never peel my veg. You know, I lightly wash them. You know, and I'll always make sure they're never scrubbed too clean. They need some dirt on, because we need B12. You know, we really do. And because we live in such a sterile and clinical environment now, B12 is actually a bacteria that grows on soil, and it also sort of forms on dirty water. You know, and we don't go out drinking dirty water. But when I was a child, I was born in 1969, you know, through the 70s and all that, we went out in the morning, and when it was dark, we came home again. And in that time, we would paddle, you know, in mucky old sort of streams. We would swim in, you know, non-fresh water running ponds, you know. And when I was a child, you know, it was mad. I was brought up on a council estate in Essex. If one of the children had got measles or something, it became a day out. You know, your mum would drag you around there. You'd end up sitting on their sick bed, you know, playing like a board game or reading a book or something. And your parents actually wanted you to get it. They wanted you to contract whatever it was that was about. So, you know, that was like a herd immunity back in the 70s, really. And I've got no doubt that so many of you will be able to relate. And you're probably smiling at this. Yeah, Lucy's just put, I used to play in the dirt and soil and eat it as a toddler, you know, because that's what we done. And when I was at school and that, you know, if you dropped your sandwich, you'd sort of dust it off a little bit and you'd carry on eating it. It's the way it was. Samantha Jones, I went for a lovely long leisurely walk in nature, my little girl, today. I used mindfulness and feel so much more revitalised, even saw some beautiful cows. So yeah, it is. It's about awareness. It is about sort of going out, not impacting within nature. It's about being aware, and it's about honouring everything. It's about being mindful, aware and respectful, you know, of the footprints that we tread upon this planet. Right, moving on. Here's another part. Being vegan is not enough. Now, you're probably all thinking, hang on, what's he going to say here? Well, to be quite honest, being vegan does not mean that we have the right to just go, I'm vegan, now I'm doing enough. Because it isn't enough. It really isn't. Mankind as a race, their impact upon this planet is detrimental to animals. It's detrimental to the world that we live upon and within. And with that, you know, we have to strive more. You know, I'm vegan, but then I'm always looking, what more can I do? What more can I do to, you know, to ease my footprint upon this planet? What more can I do so that I am helping the planet to heal? I mean, obviously, where we're not allowed out as much, many of us, we're not driving our cars as much. We're walking more. We're respecting everything more. And again, it comes down to awareness. You know, there's, like I said earlier, there's 432 million animals killed around the world for food every single day. Now, what I'm doing now, I'm wearing some activist apparel. You know, I'm fully stamped, I'm tattooed all over my place. I've got vegan, you know, on there. I've got vegan written on the back of my neck. It's about saying to people, it's about making people think. If we can show the alternative and explain the alternative and plant seeds as we go, this is what we need to be doing. It really is. And if you can, there's an amazing marketplace happening here today. Support some of the vegan, you know, some of the small vegan businesses that are there. Support some sanctuaries if you can. And I'm a joint owner of a sanctuary. Joe, that is lovely. All right, hang on a minute. Let's see the neck. All right then. Can you see that? I don't know if you could see that, but yeah, no, Joe, I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, some good sanctuaries to support if you can. I'm the joint owner of Beneath the Wood Sanctuary, so I would definitely urge you to support Beneath the Wood Sanctuary. I would also urge you, if you can, to support Beneath the Wood Sanctuary. Let's think of another one. Beneath the Wood Sanctuary is always a good one to support. No, seriously. Beneath the Wood, you've got Liberty Animal Sanctuary. They're always a good one. They do some amazing work. You've also got Pudz Animal Sanctuary, P-U-D-Z. Sheena Louise, when we can, I do some talks for her at her festivals. She does some amazing work, and I believe she's based up in the Midlands. And another good one is Miracles Mission. Victoria Bryson set that up and runs that. That's always another brilliant one. So you've got Miracles Mission, you've got Pudz Animal Sanctuary, and these have, if you're on Facebook, which you all are, they've all got pages on there. So yeah, check out Miracles Mission, check out Pudz Animal Sanctuary, P-U-D-Z. check out Liberty Animal Sanctuary. You know, they've got a Facebook and an Instagram page. And also check out Beneath the Wood Sanctuary. So, Emily Winstanley, no. Yep, Vegan Fairs have just told me. Dean Farm Trust, they are trading today in the marketplace. And New Haven, they are also trading with us. And we have, just joined us, the lady that I am very, very proud to work with on a daily basis. Sasha Bennett is watching. She is the one that, set up Beneath the Wood Animal Sanctuary sort of about 10, 11 years ago. So, thank you for joining us, Sasha. Yeah, Joe Vaughan, Dean Farm Trust. I've said enough now. You know, the list, there's many, many, many. Doesn't matter which one you support. As long as you support Beneath the Wood Sanctuary and Beneath the Wood Sanctuary and Beneath the Wood Sanctuary, then you'll be all right. Samantha Jones. I'd like to know where these are going so quick now, I can't keep up. Samantha, Samantha, if anyone can hear me, Samantha's just asked, she'd like to know if there are any animal sanctuaries local to where she is in Hampshire. So if anyone is on here that could literally throw Samantha Rose Jones over a link of some in Hampshire, that would be very much appreciated. But yeah, being vegan is not enough. So it's about supporting sanctuaries. It's about supporting small businesses, and there's lots of amazing, sustainable and very ethical small vegan businesses here today because, let's face it, 7 weeks we have been in lockdown now. 7 weeks. And, a lot of these, vegan traders, they're out there, every weekend. Often, Badger Hawkins that runs Badger's Vegan Kitchen. I've been with him at several different events before, and he's travelled a couple of 100 miles to be at an event on a Saturday, and then he will sleep in his van or a cheap pop-up Airbnb if he can on the Saturday night, and then he will drive even further to be at an event on the Sunday. These people work tirelessly, and that's why, Daisy and Joe, Vegan Fairs, they've done an incredible job. So yeah, just show your appreciation, because if you were at a physical vegan fair, you would be spending money, you'd be trying this, that and the other. So if you're able to, pop over to the the actual marketplace that's listed on here. And they are Rebecca Duffy. That's dedication. It really is. Rebecca Duffy, these people are the, the hardcore of it all. And last year, I actually drove 20,000 miles in the UK last year. And that was just literally to go and give talks. I gave 55 talks in 51 different events last year. It was an absolute whirlwind of a year. Vegan Fairs have just put a link up for Hampshire Heart Wildlife Rescue. I don't know if that's any good to who it was. Was it Rebecca Jones, I think? Not sure if they are vegan. But and it's the same for a lot of these traders. Like I say, I went up and down the country speaking at some of the most illustrious places in the UK, and it was incredible. But, the vegan traders now, they are, let's not face it, let's face it and be honest, a lot of them they're in dire straits, and they've worked hard. And a lot of them do it for hardly any money. They are literally just keeping themselves above water. So if you can, go and support some today at the marketplace, please. And, some of the, like Sasha, who I work with and, I co-own Beneath the Wood Sanctuary with, the sanctuary owners that, You know, it's a thankless task, rescuing animals. You know, you do it because it's the right thing to do, and you don't sit there, you don't think, am I going to rescue this because I haven't got the money to keep it? You just do it and worry about the costs afterwards. So yeah, small businesses, you know, and vegan sanctuaries, I think really has got to be the goal of the day. So yeah, moving on again. Kindness matters. Shirley, she's put, your vegan messages will have reached many at your 55 fairs. Last year alone, people that contacted me through my website, which is johnarwin.com, people that phoned me, that I was working with constantly to ensure they stayed vegan. And these are people that I'm actually still in contact with now, and I send them recipes. They message me, they email me, they text me, they WhatsApp me. The numbers for last year alone, people that I helped, were 98 people to go vegan, and at least half of those were families of between 2 to 5. So I should think last year, at least 200-300 people I helped go vegan. So yeah, I'm rather proud of that. So yeah, it's raising awareness, it's advocating for plant-based or vegan lifestyles. It's raising awareness of the vegan movement as a whole, because let's not detract from this at all. The vegan movement is not a movement where we are seeking to resolve one issue. It really isn't. You know, we've gathered up all of the straws, and we are seeking to end oppression for all animals. We are seeking for the end of deforestation, the end of water acidification, you know, the end of slurry being pumped out everywhere. The US alone, 30,000 pounds of manure a second, you know, through animals being in animal agriculture. That's just the US, 30,000 pounds a second. You know, we are seeking for all of this. We are seeking and going for a vegan world where the waters will be clear, where nature will still flourish, where we're not encroaching, where we're not ripping everything down, where we do not have these pandemics, you know, coming up every few years, where 432 animals are not being needlessly slaughtered every year. You know, and if you break that down, 432 million animals a day, that's 74 billion a year. That works out at 5,000 per second, every single minute of every hour, of every day, of every week, of every month, every year. 5,000 a second. By the time I've finished this talk, in slaughterhouses alone around the world, that's 300,000. You know, we are all that is wrong in this world. We are the cancer upon this planet. You know, and we took a massive, massive wrong turn many, many years ago. It's not necessarily our fault, but we are the last generation that can actually turn this around. And if we fail in our guardianship of this planet, then what legacy are we leaving for future generations? Seriously, peoples, if you can go out and start planting seeds, you know, mention the word plant-based, mention the word vegan. Like I say, I'm walking around constantly like a vegan billboard. You know, people cannot escape me, you know, and I have killed the animals. I am a qualified nutritionist. I'm also in advanced heart failure, which I was diagnosed with in June 2015. That's 5 years ago. And that day in June, I was given no time at all. I was told that I should not be waking up each day. But yet, last year, I was told that I've got 10 conditions for anyone interested. serious ones. I've got valve failings, narrowing of the aortic root. I've got solidification of the inner and outer heart. I've got left ventricular regurgitation. I've got left ventricular hypertrophy. I've got unstable angina, aortic valve failure, mitral valve failure. Yeah, last year, Sasha's watching as well. She knows that last year I was told this year I was going to need open heart surgery. And that was devastating, it really was. But then, because of the conditions I have regular blood tests, regular hospital visits. In January of this year, I was told that some of my complaints have actually showed signs of reversal. None of them have deteriorated anymore. And January of this year, I was told, as of that point, this year I do not need open heart surgery. Now, all that I have done differently is to go vegan, and I've been whole food plant-based strictly now for 6 months. But before that, I was probably 85 to 90% whole food plant-based, which goes back again to being aware that we are what we eat, and how can you expect to have a healthy life and longevity when you're consuming death? It's never going to happen. It cannot be. It's an oxymoron to believe, anything but that. So, yeah, I was very, very happy about that. And yeah, like I say, I'm a fully qualified vegan nutritionist. I'm no chef, but I cook intuitively. I eat intuitively. I listen to my body, and it comes back again to awareness, which is the title of this talk. So yeah, kindness matters. And that is just awareness again. It's being kind to all kinds. It's honouring the life that we have as people, and it's honouring that life that we see in other beings. Joe Vaughan, nothing can stop you, my friend. I certainly hope not. Now, Samantha Rose, it breaks my heart that people have no compassion. The thing is, as children, we are all born with compassion, empathy and love. We are. You don't get taught it. The sad fact is, through peer pressure and going to school and society and many, many other aspects, we get untaught it. Because, make the comparison, children never ever want to see an animal being hurt. And we are taught to be kind to animals. But then throughout the day, the parents that have told you to be kind to animals serve you up a mutilated animal to eat. And and I was fed meat. I stopped eating meat once I left the small holding where I was killing animals back in sort of 2014. But yeah, we're so zoned in on ourselves. The majority of people sadly do not care, or they're not aware, but that doesn't mean that we cannot change them. We just, I'm also a qualified hypnotherapist, and basically all hypnotherapy is based upon NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, and that really is repetition. If you keep saying the same messages constantly, people are eventually going to start not just hearing, they're going to start listening, because when you keep repeating something, people cannot ignore it. And that comes again to being vegan is not enough. It's about raising awareness. It's about showing how healthy we can be. And I've lived the extremes. I did have a small holding, and I've killed lots of animals myself, and I openly admit this. I've been in a slaughterhouse, and on my voice, I have led sheep and their lambs and pigs and their piglets to their death, and I've watched what happens. But yet now I co-own Beneath the Wood Sanctuary, and last year, for anyone interested, we done the largest reversal of a destruction order on animals from the animal agricultural industry ever known in the UK. And if anyone wants to check out the Pembrokeshire 53 pigs that actually ended up being 85 pigs, yeah, we rescued them and they live with us now. And Sasha's, who is joining us, you know, has been out this morning feeding the 7 or 8 sheep that we've got, the 8 dogs that we've got, the 2 horses that we've got, and the 85 pigs. Oh, let's not forget Flint. We've got one little cat as well who's getting on a bit. Right. Samantha Rose Jones, what about vegan junk food? Foods that are accidentally vegan or processed? Samantha Rose, if you want any information, if you... excuse my ignorance, I'm not even sure if we're friends on Facebook, but, you know, if we're not, send me a message or a friend request if we're not connected. I think, basically, no processed foods are ever going to be good. Processed foods, vegan ones, have got their place, but it's how often we're going to eat them. They're basically, many of them are full of chemicals. They're heavily processed. They're going to be empty nutrients, basically. Should we all go raw? I done a thing on this the other day. Raw has got 2 topics. You can have raw, which is raw, and fruit ideally should be eaten raw, and then you're getting all of the electrolytes in it. You're getting the high energy electrolysis in it as well. But then with vegetables, they're a bit different, because you can eat all vegetables raw, but to actually eat them in their raw state, you are only getting approximately 38 to 45% of the nutrients contained within. If you cook them, which is going at no more of a temperature than, what is it? It's round about, I think, 34 degrees Fahrenheit. So you are mildly blanching them. And if you imagine watching some vegetables steam, they'll start turning a different colour. They become brighter at that temperature. Then when we eat them, we're getting between 78 to 85% of the nutrients. So to blanch them is much, much better. But if you want to link up with me and send me a message, I can go into a lot more detail about that. And I can, you know, obviously I'll charge for it because I'm a vegan nutritionist. But yeah, I can do meal plans. I can help you every step of the way. But, you know, tips and advice are free. So yeah, link up with me, please. Joe Ref, all that you have done since you stopped farming has been massive. Thank you. Cool, that side swiped me. I wasn't expecting that. Joe Rev, thank you so much. Animal rights, veganism, it chose me and it's become my vocation now. And no matter what I do, it never feels enough. It really doesn't. And it's people like Joe, it's people like Sasha, you know, Badger Hawkins, the other people that I speak, you know, for and with, you know, vegan fairs, so many people. It's like a conduit, because so many people say that I'm inspirational, but hang on a minute, I'm getting my inspiration from all of these warriors, you know. So once again, it's awareness, you know. It's humbling, it really is. And to be surrounded, you know, because so many times, especially now, we can think, crikey, I'm doing all this vegan stuff on my own. But then when we look round, we see a multitude of absolutely inspirational, and credible, human beings that have got more humanity within them than the masses of people that aren't vegan. And once we realise that we are a soul tribe and we are basically coming together and uniting, it's that powers me on. It really is. I haven't got a clock here, but apparently, can someone quickly ping up on the screen, please, what time it is? If you don't mind. But yeah, it's an absolute, I am proud to be a voice for the voiceless, and I am proud to be a part of the movement that is the most pivotal and powerful movement ever in our race as humankind. 14:25. Oh, that means I've got 5 minutes. Right. The path of least resistance. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, it's till 2:26. Right, awareness. To round this off, as I said I would, the path of least resistance. There. Do I need to say anything? The path of least resistance is for us choosing to tread carefully upon this planet. It is about being aware of the footprints that we're having, whether that's physical or spoken. It's about making changes. It's about realising that every single life is as precious as the life we cherish and we value that we have. My life is not any more, of any more significance than what Pagan, my dog's life, is, because he loves his life as much as I love my life. Now, you imagine these animals that are born into these vile industries, and they've got their life and they want to hold on to that life. What have we become, and what are we as individuals, because the onus falls down upon us now to make the changes and to cherish all life, to love all life, and to be kind to all kinds. We are guardians and we are caretakers of this world and of this planet, and we have to lead and live the path of least resistance. And that is not just for ourselves, that is for all beings. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone that has watched, I can't actually believe I've been talking for an hour. It has been incredible. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the wonderful comments. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the day with Vegan Fairs. Please support some sanctuaries if you're not already. And please support all of the amazing and incredible and inspirational traders that are trading today in Vegan Fairs, marketplace. So, thank you all so much. I've got to go now. But yeah, thank you. It's been a pleasure. Much love to you all. Bye.